Von Miller, signed by the Cowboys. Is he the prince that was promised? I don't know. Let's find out. We're gonna watch this CBS Sports video here. We'll see what they have to say. I'll give you my opinion afterwards, but let's get into it.
And bring in Ryan Wilson. Ryan, always great to be with you. Let's go ahead and start with the Von Miller news. So the Cowboys add an 8-time Pro Bowler, future Hall of Famer to their pass rush. But what does Miller actually still have at 37 years old, and how much can this move actually change Dallas's defense?
Hey, Jordan, good to see you. And look, 12 months ago, we were all making fun of Jerry Jones for trading Micah Parsons in a situation
Yeah.
where it felt like they probably shouldn't have traded Micah Parsons, and the defense played about like you expected. They got better down the stretch for sure.
They were awful without Micah Parsons. The Cowboys' offense was insane. They should have been a much better team, but their defense was just awful. It was like the Bengals defense. I understand the reasoning for getting rid of Micah Parsons, but no one should have been surprised that their defense was awful without him. But anyways,
This 12 months later feels different. It feels like they're adding, I can't believe I'm going to say this. It feels like they're adding the final pieces to a Super Bowl team. And you have to say,
I can't believe he said that either. No one should think at this point in time that the Cowboys are a Super Bowl team. I'm not going to say they won't win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say they won't make it to the Super Bowl. But anyone that says they're a Super Bowl team, I don't know. Any team can win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying the Cowboys are bad. But there's no way that the addition of 37-year-old Von Miller makes your team a Super Bowl team. No way you're a 37-year-old Von Miller away from winning the Super Bowl.
that when you giggle, but everything they've done this offseason has been the right move, including the draft picks in terms of Caleb Downs and Malachi Lawrence. They have the edge rush situation in as good a shape as it's been, probably including when Micah was there in his best. They have Donovan Ezaraku going into year 2. They traded for Rashawn Gary. I mentioned Lawrence, who they drafted. Now you have Von Miller, who's going to play 15, 20 snaps a game, presumably in pass rush downs, third down especially, and just get after it. I think he still has that juice left. As a Commanders fan, you know he was one of the few bright spots in that defense a year ago in terms of rushing the passer. So he can still do that if that's all you need him to do. I love this pick, and it's going to be a Charlie Brown football situation, I think, that I keep riding this Cowboys train until it goes over the cliff. But it feels like, Jordan, they're doing everything to position themselves to finally make a deep playoff run in a post-Troy Aikman world, because that was the last time they were really able to do that consistently.
Well, keep riding it, because you know what happens the second you get off. You don't want to be on that side of things. Let's get to another pass rusher, though. Aaron Donald.
Yeah. I mean, the Cowboys have made some additions. I really like Caleb Downs. I would have been more than happy. I'm a Saints fan, so I would have been more than happy if the Saints picked Caleb Downs. He arguably was the best player in the draft. He just played safety, so they have made additions, and I think they will be better. But their defense was putrid last year. Awful. So do these additions make them an above average defense? Top 10? I don't know. Probably not. They help. But with an offense like the Cowboys, can you just get your defense middle of the pack and not terrible? And does Von Miller help? Yes. But I don't know how much he moves the needle as compared to all the additions combined. I think he's just a smaller piece. So to say that they're now a Super Bowl team with the addition of Von Miller, I don't think is accurate. I think they need more on the defense to be considered that, and Von Miller is not Micah Parsons. It would be more understandable if you said, hey, the Cowboys signed Micah Parsons. I think they're a Super Bowl team. That'd be less crazy. And I mean, it would be nice if the Cowboys had a guy like Micah Parsons right now. I mean, that would be helpful. But, anyways, that's beside the point. Von Miller, I like him as a player. He wasn't bad last year. He wasn't great, kind of middle of the road. We'll look at some stats here in a second, but I don't think it moves the needle like crazy. I think it's just one of those off-season things that gets talked about more than it should. But anyways, we'll look at some stats here for a second. All right, we'll look at PFF here for a second. I mean, PFF isn't everything. Doesn't mean everything, but it is a helpful guide to how good a player is. He was ranked 66 out of all 115 edges last year, with a 64.4 overall grade. Played 420 snaps, better than half the league. 36 pressures, 14 tackles, 10 sacks, 22 hurries, 4 hits. I mean, the 10 sacks is a nice number, to be honest. But how much of that is from Von Miller being a really good edge? Or, I mean, because 10 sacks on 36 pressures is kind of crazy. That's not a whole lot of pressures. I mean, it's a decent amount, about middle of the pack. But then to have 10 sacks with that is crazy. So I don't know if that's really repeatable next year. But I don't know if the Cowboys need him to be that. I think they just need to contribute a little bit to fill in some of their lackluster holes that they had from last year. So, I mean, Von Miller obviously has had a great career. I mean, bunch of Pro Bowls, all pros. I mean, dude's insane. But at this point in his career, he's 37-year-old. To say, I know I'm going back to this, but to say that the Cowboys are a Super Bowl team because of this, we got to slow down a little bit. I like it. I think it helps. But as for that Super Bowl team, I don't think so. We'll look at the Cowboys depth chart here. See, so we can get a look at who he's paired up with. All right. Well, I really like Quinnen Williams here on their defensive line. Kenny Clark. I mean, ask Eli, Packers fan, how good Kenny Clark is, and Rashawn Gary. I mean, Rashawn Gary and Von Miller aren't too far apart with how good they are. So if you're adding another Rashawn Gary, does that really help your team get over the hump? Defensive wise, I like the depth that they added with Von Miller, but it doesn't make them top heavy. Like, it doesn't give them that top level talent that I think they need at this point. Maybe Caleb Downs can give you that, but he does play safety, nickel, whatever they want to play him as. But I think they just, again, the same as last year, have to rely on their offense to carry them to wins. They got to rely on Dak, CD, George Pickens, Javonte Williams just to bring him over the top. And it is an offensive league, so it's better than having a bad offense and a great defense. But to be a championship team, you need to have at least a good defense. Better than average. Maybe you can be right at average, but you can't be awful. This gets them in a step in the right direction, but I think they need to take more and more steps. Maybe next year in the draft they can add somebody. Maybe free agency, trade for a guy. But I don't think they're there yet, but I think they can get there pretty soon. I don't think this is their year yet to be Super Bowl favorites, but next year, who knows? We'll see how this season goes. But that's about all I got on Von Miller. I mean, how much can we talk about this? It's kind of an off-season thing that people talk about too much, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. See ya.